Hello everybody and welcome again. My name is Gustavo Badel, professional bodybuilder. I'm here to tell you that this weekend is going to be very interesting. We have the Nationals, the biggest event of bodybuilding and fitness in 2015 in the United States. Today we have a special guest. We're going to share a lot of point of view about the show, and stay with me, follow me. This is my corner. I'm gonna, introduce one of my friends. He's a bodybuilder for a long time. He's a professional IFBB pro. He's a national NPC champion master, and he's one of the guys who always in the Olympia and the NPC. He knows everybody. He knows the industry. He loves the sport. And right now we have him here to discuss some point of view about this weekend national. Here, my friend Joe Swat. Joe Palumbo.
Thank you very much. It was great to see you. Tell you, you're one of the best champions out there in the industry. So I'm glad to be here, and I'm honored to be here in this corner, the Masters Corners coach. So yes, it is. This weekend is the biggest event for the amateurs. It's 2015. It's the history of the Nationals. NPC Nationals has been around for 33 years. One of the first champions that won.
How many years? I mean, you said 33 years.
Right.
Who was the first champion in NPC and the Nationals?
Lee Haney was the first one who won the
Lee Haney.
NPC,
We're talking about Lee Haney is, besides the national NPC champion, Lee Haney was 8-time Mr. Olympia.
That's right.
That means that, Joe, telling me if I'm correct or not, but most of the time the NPC champion always is they have something good career in IFBB Pro. What do you think about that?
The NPC, as you stated, it is the top amateur in the world, basically. You have the USA, you have the Masters Nationals, you have the other pro shows that turn you pro, but the Nationals it's like the top of the line that most athletes that win the overalls at these national level go on to much better and bigger things, like Lee Haney, like 8-time Mr. Olympia. You got Gary Stridham. Sean Ray. Got Bob Paris.
What about Kevin LeBron?
Yeah, Kevin LeBron. That's another great champion, as a matter of fact. He was going up Dorian Yates, knocking on their doors. Like you said, the NPC is the top of the top at the national level. That chances are your careers are going to keep going and keep it enhancing to further onto better things.
Yeah. What do you think about, because the first NPC champion is Lee Haney, that you said to me, and I was a great champion. Now the last champion overall NPC was Alexi Rivera Rolon from Puerto Rico, which is guy who looks fantastic last year. He beat everybody. Right. What do you think about that guy? Because we don't see that guy in the professional scene this year, but they say they're coming next year. They're coming better than most of the people right now. I don't know. What do you think?
My opinion is a lot of these champions who win the national level, they seem to be sharp and they seem to be very hard. When they reach the professional level, they want to put on more muscle because you want to be able to compete against these big guys. They'll put on more muscle, but I still think they're not as sharp as they would be if they stayed at the lower weight level at the national levels. If you compare the photos, chances are they always come in sharper. When they start adding on more size, depending on the athlete and their physical structure, when they start adding more muscle, they start losing some of that aesthetic look, just to try to compete with these 280, 290, 200-pound guys. So, like the last year's champion, he does have a good physique. Can he bring it up to the next level, add another 10 pounds to compete against the pros, and still be able to keep that sharpness and that shape and that symmetry?
Okay. Yeah, now you're telling me about symmetry and mass. That's a little bit confusion. Most of the people, they want to be huge, big, because sometimes bodybuilding is bigger is better, right? Competitor, I was a professional. We competing, me, many times, because you're always involved in the sport and professional level and amateur levels. And I like more old school physique, like Bob Paris, Francine, even Franco Columbo. All those guys, they have a different structures, and believe me, even Flex Wheeler, even Kevin LeBron, I mean, even those guys, we always respect them and admire them because they have a great physique. Huge guys, a lot of muscles, but symmetry, aesthetic, balance. And you said everybody at that time want to be a bodybuilder because I want to look like those guys. These days is a little bit different. We have a huge guy like Rami, we have a Winkler, we have a Marcus Rule, and they're huge and they're freaking huge. But it's not the old school physique that I like to be. Personally, I prefer more static, more balanced. Probably, I like to have those size, but sometimes when you have size, you sacrifice the other things that static, symmetry,
Right.
balance. What do you think about this new generation of bodybuilding? For example, this weekend, what do you think the judges gonna take in consideration?
Well, there's been some pressure from the fans out there and the media that some of these bodybuilders were getting way too big, and I think they lost touch of the actual aesthetic look, like they had cornies. Because back then, I like you said, I'm old school. I looked up to these guys about Pop Paris, Benfado, Samir Benoot. They brought art to the sport. I mean, in their posing alone, just the posing, the way they created those poses, it was an art. So, they brought the aesthetic look to it. And that caught the attention of the fans and the media and everybody else, because they said, not to say that these big guys are there's a market for that. There's an audience for that. But now you have a choice. But at this day and age, all these national competitors right there, right now, that are competing, they need to realize that what's best for them, because the audience, what they're asking for. If the audience is asking for more aesthetic look, well, guess what? You better lean towards that way if you want to be able to market yourself and capitalize on that. So, you're going to see a lot more bodybuilders going back to that type of look. This is another reason why that's so great about the NPC. They created another division. Classic.
Yeah. Men's physique and then classic physique.
Right. So
they
gives
wanna,
everybody an opportunity in what they want.
I think this is a good idea because what we haven't. We bring back the classic bodybuilders, that's
Frank
what we're looking
Zanes,
for.
that type
And
of look.
I think this is good for the sport and for the kids because also the people, they want to look like, those guys in old school. Even right now, today, you see picture of Francais, you say, wow, I want to look like that guy at the
Right.
time. And bring that, that kind of package is going to be really good for the sport.
Right.
Especially, because now we're growing, we have more classes because thanks to MPC, they always, creating new classes, new opportunity. We have a men's physique, we have a bikini, we have a figure, we have a woman physique, and now we have a classic,
Right.
which is great. I mean,
Right.
with sport, we're growing, and
Right.
you see, I think everybody, and we have all family, we have a bodybuilder or fitness, that's a common right now, right?
Right. Basically, this is initially it's called bodybuilding. Now you'll be able to create your own body to whatever category that you want to build it. You want to be physique? Well, you go that way. You want to be classic physique? You go that way. You want to have the really big muscles? You have the opportunity. You pick and choose. That's what's so great about it. To not only what you want to achieve, but also at the same time what you're genetically gifted to achieve. So between the two, there's something for everybody.
Wow, that's fantastic. What the show we have? What is the schedule for the show? I know it's gonna be today. Start the pre-judging in a couple of minutes, and tomorrow is the final. We having the whole day. How gonna be the classes? What's gonna be the schedule for today?
Well, the pre-judging starts at 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. It's in Miami. Today, the schedule of the event is basically it's going to be men's bodybuilding today, women's physique, and the bikini for today. Tomorrow will be the rest. So there's people out there. Yesterday was the weigh-in. There were some people that haven't gone through meetings. So you're talking about a big weekend event of the competitors are out there, which is almost close to 1,000 or more. Every year they keep growing. It's just imagine the amount of 1,000 competitors out
Amazing. Amazing. I see you telling me that the first champion Lee Haney 33 years ago, and I remember that time with the NPC they give away just one pro card. 33 years after, we're talking about today and tomorrow we're gonna give away 60 professional cars.
That's right.
That's amazing. What do you
Yes.
think about that?
It's great for the athletes and it's great for the fans, but at the same time, my personal opinion, when there is back then when I first started out, it was one of the few. Now it just seems like you're one of the many because there's so many pro cards. You know, that's great that everybody has a chance and opportunity because there's so many different divisions. But I know when I won my pro card, it was like I was one of the few. You know, but because the sport has grown so much and there's so many different athletes from everywhere, you know, so you're gonna have more pro guards, more pro athletes walking around there who got more opportunities to become pros. Again, you know, it's a great sport, it's a great atmosphere. It's a 24/7 sport. There's no other sport out there that you have to you know, put your mind and your body to go round the clock 24/7 to achieve your pro card. So, you know, dieting and training, it's nonstop.
Yeah,
You know, you can't do that with football. You know, season's over. You can go home and drink beer and eat pizza.
No. Bodybuilding and fitness is 24 hours. This is a lifestyle. You never, you know, it's never ends. Always, you know, you gotta live it, you know, day by day. And what I believe in, think about the pro card is right now. I've been watching the NPCs in the last 15 years, and I see so many good competitors in each class, even bikinis, figure, men's physique, bodybuilding. And I know that's why the reason they're giving away 60 pro cards. It's too many good people. I mean, the sport is growing every year. So, I mean, I think it's a great opportunity for the sport because we have a lot of good guys. I know I remember when I won my pro card, it was just one pro card a year. And it was a little bit, you know, it was good, but at the same time, there's a lot of people they lost, you know, like concentration, they lost love for the sport because sometimes they try and they keep trying and always, you know, getting, you know, just one pro card. And there's a lot of good people competing with you because you know,
Right.
always the level is very high.
Right.
So I think it's good and people deserve it because there's a lot of good guys that, you know, they deserve to have a pro card. So the sport is growing. I think it's a very good. What do you think about some names for the sport? Because last year I've been checking. There was a lot of good guys. A lot of, you know, they battled out for the shows, and I know Alexi was again the champion for the super heavyweights and overall. But I see this guy, in some way I think he's a really good physique that caught my attention is Sergio Oliva Jr. What do you think about that guy?
Well, I saw photos of him. They were comparing photos. I know that he mentioned that he might show up this weekend and try to take the title away. You know, I've seen photos of him, you know, competing last year and stuff, and comparing photos between him and his father, the myth, Sergio Oliva, great champion.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, a guy. What a wonderful guy. And he had a lot of similarity, but the photo of his father back then, and the photos of him side by side, you can still see that, you know, Junior has still a little bit more to grow. So if he becomes that muscle size of his father, with a little better sharper and a little better, conditioning, you know, he's going to be another one person to reckon with, you know. So I see him doing really good.
That kid, they have a big guns. I mean, his bicep is like his father, you know,
Yeah.
huge. I mean, I like the way he looks and the presentation. I think this kid, they have a lot of future in the sport, really, you know, and, you know, it's great, you know, because when the Sergio Oliva was a great bodybuilder, you know, I always, you know, like him, respect him, and, you know, now his son is following his, you know, his steps.
Well, the benefit of today's bodybuilding is the technology, the type of training, the equipment that we have, the products that we have out there. You know, these are all stuff that it's going to enhance your conditioning, your shape, and your results. Back then, you know, you were very limited with nutrition. When I grew up, you know, it's milk and eggs, you know, and red meat. You know, but they didn't really give you much. You know, we hardly even did cardio back then when I first started out. You know, it's now the science behind the products, the fat burners that we have, the cardio that's out there, the machines that we have. and the equipment, it just puts you on another level. Can you imagine 30 years from now?
Yeah, definitely. That's why we focus Muscle Media Latino. Muscle Media, we give it the best article to the people, make it more education, because I know this sport, like you say, is a science, always a science behind. So, our purpose, our goals is giving to you guys, all the fans, all competitors, all people that want to make a physique transformation. Give it the best knowledge, the best educational training, supplementation, everything you need to know about the sport, because this is really important. And like you said, right now, before we don't have the chance, now we have the technology to give it, to those people, helping out just to achieve their goals. And you see any day the sport is growing, and everybody is enjoying more. Joe, what you have to say to all those guys? They're gonna compete this weekend.
Well, I wish them all good luck. They've been suffering. They've been putting everything on the line. This is the best show of the year that they put out, NPC. And these guys are, if they're going to be on that stage, they come off already being some kind, they establish themselves somehow to be up there. Now, you're competing against the best. Well, good luck, guys. Make sure you do all your homework and condition. Make sure you peak at the right time. And I wish you the best, and I wish you luck. And we'll see the results when they're coming out on. We'll talk to you guys soon to tell all the latest who the facts, who won, who didn't, and why they didn't win. And again, best of luck, guys.
Okay, I'm the same. Best of luck to everybody. We're gonna see you Monday. We're gonna give you the best, the results, and then we're gonna talk a little bit about the show. How was it? And tell us our point of view. I think it's gonna be interesting Monday just to see how it goes this weekend. We're gonna, meantime, stay healthy, keep training and follow me and my corner, Gustavo Bedell, and now Muscle Media Latino, Muscle Media Online. You can follow me, and Joe. Next time we're gonna have talking about our results on the Nationals 2015 in Miami, Florida. This is Gustavo. Thank you for following me. Thank you for being with us. See you the next time.
Train safe, train smart.